Hello, everyone. Greetings. It's me, Wrestler, and welcome to Patron. This is a game that came out in August, actually, and so it's a little bit behind the curve here. I bought it the day it came out, and I played the demo, and the demo was actually very generous. The demo basically allowed you to do everything. It just gave you one map. Um, but I played this game and the demo was great. It did look and feel a lot like Banished until you get later on in things. And in this game, uh, supply chains are a huge thing. Not that Banished didn't have supply chains, but Banished didn't emphasize supply chains quite as much as Patron does. I mean, everything in Patron, a building, you need everything for a building, for a particular building. If you build this, then you need this. If you want to produce this, then you need to produce this and this and that and such. And then drop offs and areas are very important in this. In Vanish, you could put stockpiles just about anywhere and it wouldn't matter. In Patron, where you put your depots is very, very important. And almost every building can be upgraded. Your gatherer's hut you can upgrade large baskets, you can expand most workplaces. Houses, you can put right insulation. Almost everything in the game can be upgraded um, to serve a particular purpose. And there are a couple different map choices. So there is that limitation with Banished. You could get a new map every single time as long as you play with the seed. But that's not a problem here. So we got Volcano. Don't volcano dominates the area with many fertile islands and their rugged coastline. So the difficulty is normal. So fertility is high, orbit is high, weather is tropical. So yeah, the weather will determine your growing seasons. So volcano, think about it. Here's Mediterranean, your basic Mediterranean, difficulty normal, high, high, temperate. Pine Ridge, temperate, high, high. It's a forest. Twin Islands is two islands, temperate. Not as much ore. Then there's the summit. The weather's dry, or which is its high surface is high, and abundant rivers that spring up from the Great Mountain, looming over the land. Summit is one I think we're gonna try because I like Summit. Then there's Reef, Tropical. Then there's Islands of Plenty. That's it. And then we get to the challenges. There's the Oasis. There's the Delta. There's the Highlands. There's the Fjords of Iron. And then there's this. And then there's North Peak. And they keep adding new maps. Um, yeah, yeah. So yeah, because some of these weren't here. Let's go with the summit. Weather's dry, but you know. Anyways, we'll continue on. So we got all this population starting. Yep. Starting with this April. I actually like to make that March, and we'll continue because March gives you a little bit of time to get things going before. Okay, so welcome. Build houses, build and upgrade gatherers, trust to produce food, sawmill, whatever. Okay, so let's pause. So let's get some. Let's see. We got 10 people. Let's take a look at the map first. Okay, so we got water right there. Research is also a thing, by the way. So we got water right there. We got quite a bit of forest land chilling out around us. So that's good. Um, hmm. Oh, and by the way, everything you'll see it eventually. Everything has an efficiency rating too. So you can't just chop down forests without abandon because you might need those forests. Okay, so I think we could chop down this forest maybe and this one, and then maybe build kind of over here and keep this forest going, and maybe even put a forester set somewhere here and try and grow. Okay. Anyways, we'll get around everything. So let's get some houses going. Actually, let's get a road going first. Roads in this game. If you've noticed in my other games, I love roads, and roads in this game are actually quite important. I've noticed. You can even put signs on said roads, so eventually to help your citizens move, so to speak, faster. I think I just yeah. Oh well, not important. Double road, right? Okay. Let's not. Let's get a road going here. Okay. Now we can build some houses. So let's build a house. Um, there's that. that. And there's that. And let's put a house on the other side. I think that should be enough houses for now. That should be enough houses for now. Yeah, that doesn't sound weird to say. That should be plenty of houses. There we go for now. Let's get a deep depot. And let's get a sawmill. Actually, let's get the road going further down here. So let's get that road really built. Okay, now let's put the sawmill in. There's the sawmill. No, not production buildings. Yes. Gather shelter. Here we go. Here's where the efficiency comes in. So you see the gather shelter, 93% efficiency if you put it right here, 86%. So so there are things. Yeah, you go over 100%, so you can get 100. So where's that 111? Let's do well. You don't want to put it too far away too. So you got to balance efficiency with Let's put it right there, 111%. Yeah. Okay, and let's get a road going to it. So okay, let's go like that. Yeah. And then almost everything can be picked up. So let's get some resource gathering. So let's get all that stuff. Yeah, all that. Let's chop down this entire forest. And let's start. We'll start over here too. Whoa, it's not, don't want to get too far ahead of ourselves. So, and we can also actually start doing some chopping over here. And then you want to, so you want to put a carrier in charge. Carriers don't build anything. Carriers do, everybody when they're not working can build things. Not carriers. Carriers do everything except build. Okay, so we got this. So there's all this. We're gonna research Fisherman Hut coins, right? That's paid for by citizens. The business you have the more coins. So we're gonna do Fisherman's Hut and get that research in progress. And you also need to this. You need to have basic workers that are doing things. Let's unpause and get everyone going at 5 speed. So yeah, so you want to always have some basic workers that are free. I know that yeah, housing shortage. Yeah, I know. I'm trying to fix it. So I like I tell you that right off the bat. There's a housing shortage. It's like I know. I'm working on it. Okay, let's take a look at production buildings. Let's see here. Yeah, hunting lodges also efficiency wise. Um, when you put them deep in the forest. Hunting lodge will be something that we'll look into doing rather soon. Um, so yeah, my goodness, it's raining already. And it says it's a dry climate. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. So we got quite a few houses. I think 5 is enough, if I remember, or it's 6. I can't quite remember. I know. I think it's 6 houses is when you start having extra house space, which is something to think about. Which is something to think about doing. 5 houses up doesn't look like anyone's homeless. That's good. Let's build a 6th house just to be safe. Give me that. And we'll call it the day after we built that 6th house. 6th. Yeah, can't talk. 6th house. Okay, I'm just gonna stop trying now. Gosh, we are low on fire. Oh, that's firewood. Okay, I thought that was food for a minute. I have played this game beforehand. I promise you. So, Um, yeah, what I like about this game that Banished doesn't seem to have as much of is just the sheer supply chain thing they have to do. Not that I'm a huge supply chain type person. I'm not the kind of person who plays Satisfactory and tells everybody that you're fools. You know that I'm smarter because I played Satisfactory. Um, I'll get to that research that I just did in a minute. It's more of I just like the idea behind it. Let me slow it down here. So you notice. So let me go back. I say go back to research. So you notice Fisherman's Hut's done. So I did quarry, and then clear path. So everything here is a good idea. And so I'm one of those people who likes to do each piece, but I do make exceptions for certain things. And this is where I'll be doing it because right after this we're going to go to mine and toolsmith because while you don't run out of tools nearly at the rate that in Banishment, boy did you run out of tools. Let's get a saw going on the sawmill. Um, why I'm not that type of person. I'm one of those people who's like, yeah, okay. So, and Banished would really rape you on tools, so to speak. If you, it would just, it would go out. If you didn't get tools, it would just start breaking things, just to make a point. Things that didn't require tools would start to break down. You'd be like, wait a minute, what? Um, so, um, so Banish doesn't do the same thing. So this game doesn't do the same thing. Tools degrade slowly, and when I did have a tool shortage in a previous playthrough, um, it wasn't too bad. I mean, it was bad, but it wasn't horrible. Let's get a fisherman's hut going. Fishermen are vital in this game, especially in the winter, because you can do ice fishing. So let's get the fisherman's hut out there. There we go. And let's get a road out to the fisherman's hut. There. So, so you see there's the expansion, worker slots, upkeep, and production. And say, and you see installation here. Remember, all these require coins, so you want to be careful about what you spend your money on. Installation, though, is always something that you want to do as soon as you can. So you said, what the heck? You just, drilled 60 coins. Yeah, I did, but insulation is paramount. Large baskets is also really important too. That'll be my next thing I'll do. So one of those houses is gonna have to go without insulation for a little bit. And when do coins come in? I have no idea. Actually, from when I played this game, I've looked at the beginning of the month, I've looked at the middle and the end of the month, and I still can't figure out when coins come in. They just show up at some point, and so I'm not going to ask questions because I need them. But I'm still trying to figure out when exactly the income comes in. So, because if I knew that, I could plan more. Okay, so research. We need to do the mine. We need 30 coins. We need 20 lumber. Yeah, things start adding up of what you want. So, having 104 lumber, that sounds like that's a lot of lumber. It's actually not. It is not a lot of lumber in any way, shape, or form. It is very little actually. Um, so, so you see here we have about 5 workers. You can get away with about 4 at this stage. The larger your settlement gets, and the more buildings you have, and things like that, and the bigger projects that you're having people build, suddenly, I had a settlement that had like I think about 40 people in it. I had 8 spare workers, and it said not enough. So there you go. Um, so that's what can happen. Um, not a problem. So we got large baskets there, so they'll be gathering more. Food production is something in this game that you really need to keep on, because everything will tell you how much is coming in, how much is being produced, so to speak. And so food production can get a little bit away from you in terms of not having enough. It also can get away from you in terms of having tons of it. And then from time you'll get messages from the king um, asking, saying, hey, like, doing a good job. I got a request. Not necessarily asking for resources that you need. Sometimes the king will just give you stuff because he'll be happy with you. Sometimes he'll say, hey, got a bunch of convicts trying to get, they don't want them in the street. Can you take them? And so you go, well, public safety, but workers. So, yeah. And then of course, we got the limited adults, five young and 4 children. And I believe young is like, like teenagers, youth or something. I'm not sure what the age is when you can start working. Um, I know in Banished, well, in Banished, I think it was like 11 or something. I don't know. No, it was 7. Excuse me. I don't know if that was a mod I had, but I remember at 7 years old, we had kids like you know. I remember one time I was looking at like the workforce, and it was like, and there were like 2 9-year-olds who were like farmers, and I was like, you're feeding the entire village, when when the fall rolls around, you're harvesting. You're the guys feeding everybody. It's like, wow, okay, I mean, more power to you for being industrial children, but seriously, like, you're 9. So, oh, snap, I forgot it was, well, you know what? Insulation is a good thing to have. Let's speed this game up. Um, and we'll get to a hunting lodge soon. But I want to get the mine research going. Now, everything here, like Banish, can be built without the required resources, except there is one small wrinkle: you have to have the coin to do it. So there is that. It's not like you can be like, hey, I'm going to place this down. When we have the money, we'll actually start building that. You actually have to have the money right off the bat, because you have to pay the people who are putting the roots down, the foundation down, so to speak. So there is that to think about. Got a fisherman going here. Story nets, that's a thing that we'll look into. Production plus 20. So, and you'll see we have 45 tools. So we have quite a few tools actually. And your sawmill, if you let them, they'll really do a good job. So, what is that? 40 coins? Yeah. Well, that's going to be something we're going to have to wait on. So let's speed up a little bit here. You can watch the research just chug along there. Now you might think, boy, coins seem hard to come by. They're actually not. I'm actually not doing the best job in the world. Coins are actually pretty easy to come by eventually, when you get to a point, Um, so eventually, when you get enough houses, you will have more than enough coins. Um, you'll have actually trouble keeping up with your coin production. So, tense. So a hunting lodge, I think, is going to be our next investment. Where's the hunting lodge? There it is. Costs 50 coins. So we'll probably put it somewhere in here. Yeah, you look at town buildings, you can eventually really start to get into some pretty big buildings, and so eventually, eventually, I think you actually eventually need some of these places, because some of these places are going to be like, hey, 47 coins, let's go. Okay, we're at 61. Okay, so let's slow it down and let's find a good place for the fish. Yeah, hunting lodges, putting them next to gathering huts is actually not the worst idea in the world. It's actually kind of somewhat smart. Um, but let's see if we can get it just a little bit more efficient. Ooh, 95. The thing about buildings is they can get more efficient as time goes on. So. Road. I do like that roads are free. Otherwise, I would have a problem with my hands. Yeah. So, and because we're going to, okay, so they still have that on their on the docket. Add a couple more trees to the mix, to the order of shopping. Uh, get some of those, yeah. Get some of these, some of those, and one of those. So, not to mention, if it seems loud, and I can barely keep up. I'm sorry, I turned down all the sounds on this game, but it just does not care. Um, you turn down all the sounds, and it's just like, yeah, it's nice that you turn down the sounds, but it's not enough, sometimes. So, actually, let me take a look here. Let me turn down the interface there. Yeah, look at my settings. I'll go back and continue. Um, yeah, I try and do what I can, but I only can do so much. So anyway, so this is where where you kind of are at in the beginning now when you're starting. You're on the fast speed, and you're keeping upgrading buildings. As they become apparent. The hunting lodge will be done. In no, not don't pause it. In time. Um, so you see now they're waiting for resources and things like that, and you just so basically what you're doing right now. So you see, this is what I mean. The king is pleased that your new colony is slowly getting on its feet. You place the foundations of a flourishing city, and for that, you're rewarded. So we got corn, firewood, and lumber. So hey, not gonna complain there. Um, we got some food. Um, so yeah, let's give our one hunter, and then so you see the hunter. So you want to do this right away, trapper training. Because that enables them to do better during the winter, as you said on the upgrade. So, um, now the one thing I have noticed about the game is your sawmill, when it comes to firewood, is really, really, really possessive of wood. It will take things away. I've seen the sawmill guy go to construction projects and take off with wood. So the sawmill guy will actually take things away from you. Let's get venture production up with the expert butcher. And then let's see here. So a tailor's thing is a clothes shop. Um, yeah, basically, it's peasant luxury. It basically takes leather um, and tools to produce coins. We have to research it though. So, so there's that. The herbalist is not needed necessarily right away. And there's the happiness. Now, influence points, you saw that. Now, in influence points is decrees that you do here. So there are decrees that you can put in place. So, school budget cuts, construction goods, which is really good. It makes everything. Construction goods are like chairs and a lot of things like this. Tariff yeah. So that's a little bit more coin. There's this. There's basically these all start to become a little bit more um, needed later on, like food production. Basically, this basically just ups all the food production. So, and these are things you research. Like for example, construction goods. It's right there. So we're gonna research toolsmith, but you get the point. So mechanization might be something to do here, but that's a little bit in the ways in the future. So we're so in terms of, by the way, speaking of production, let's get well, I think a mine is probably the next thing we need to do. Iron mine, there we go. 75 coins. Okay, let's get that. Let's get up to that. Research on toolsmith. Woo! We'll get up to there. Okay. So here's the mine. And like other buildings, they have efficiencies. Now, mines need to actually be built in a certain location. So let's see what we got here. You have any like just like general hill areas that we can build a mine next to? Doesn't look like it. That's a bit of a problem because it's over here. It'd be great. Um, see, a core needs to be near the same area. So let's see here. That is far from the nearest depot, but it might be necessary. You know, we're good on tools for now. What might be something to do in this type of map is to, let's see if we can find it here. Is it production or is it town buildings? I'm looking for the, not that, the trade, the docks right here. Um, Trading with the mainland. So something about iron and stone and coal and such might be until you expand your settlement that way. This might be the way to go because you can get stuff this way if your production of a particular thing is over the top. And if you take a look at our lumber and firewood situation, we could probably trade some of that to get the iron and stuff that we need to produce tools and things. So let's jump up here. I've actually never had to. I built the dock. I've never had to build this early though for this type of thing. Um, but desperate times call for desperate measures. So let's get the dock placed. Oh, actually, can we place it over here? Treasury empty. Well, it says that, and you're like, yes, that is true. In 10 seconds, or whenever the coins come in, I'll be okay. So when you say see treasury empty, I've just learned don't panic. So let's get that. So let's see here. Okay. So this is something that we were probably not going to put into operation right away. We're going to get it built, but in terms of like putting it into operation, that probably is going to be a little bit further down the line. And as you see, we have two more workers, so actually we can probably get it going pretty soon, which I'm not going to complain about. Now that's uncommon. That's because two kids aged up. Usually, immigrants, like people who come and are ready to work, usually come around March or April in this game, and sometimes they don't come at all. So you kind of need to because in order for them to come, you need to have jobs for them to do. Although sometimes they'll come even without jobs to do, and you need to have housing for them, so they need to have a place to live. So building houses is actually, and building them near their workplaces is actually something you want to do. So there is wisdom sometimes in expanding a building, and then so as you can see here, so we're gonna task one person. Whoops, wrong thing. We're gonna task one person as a dock worker. Now you'll watch this. Let's slow it down here. This is how you do trade. So you open the trade panel. You go, okay. What do I have extra of that I can give? Well, okay. and you have 200 that you get. So you go, okay, well, firewood. So you say decrease. This is how you sell things. The other way is to buy things. So you go, okay, I'm gonna sell 50 firewood. And you keep in mind you have 27 coins. This will give you 45 more coins. So you go, okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna buy 6 clothing, to get to 25 because I like round numbers. 1 corn. And then you go, okay, so what do I need? I need iron and leather. But for now, because tools are super expensive, whereas iron and well, not leather, sorry. Whereas iron and stone are really cheap. So you go, okay, I'm gonna buy iron. Let's just go like that. Let's go like that. In fact, let's say we're gonna buy that much of each. And then you say, okay, so now you're losing 13. That's okay though. So you say, okay, I'm gonna sell some of my vention, some of my strawberries. I'm gonna buy tools. You know, I'm gonna sell some of my mushrooms. I'm gonna sell some of my lumber. I'm gonna buy some leather. You have no herbs. I'm gonna buy some herbs. Um, I'm gonna sell 5 of my fish. I'll buy 2 corn actually. You say I'll buy some coal. Oops, we went over the limit. Can't afford that. Give it a minute. We'll have enough points. And then you say, okay, so in fact, I'll sell 6 mushrooms, and I'll sell some more lumber. Um, I'll buy some more of this. And you go that, and you click trade, and so you have all this now. Actually, you don't have it all now. So you wait. That's what's coming in the next trade ship, and the next trade ship arrives. Yeah, it arrives like every 3 or 4 months. It's kind of hard to tell because I really have never actually kept an eye on it, so to speak, on when it arrived, when it departed, things like that. So yeah, so as you can see, we have everything kind of bustling along now. And let's go ahead and jump through. So it's October. It's 5 Celsius. So since this is a drier climate, in other maps, and maybe I'll probably throw one out there for you guys, so you can see it. It will snow and it will get cold, very cold, in more temperate climates. The tropical ones, I haven't experienced them very much. I'm guessing though, if it follows, normal patterns in the winter months, either it gets really warm, um, and such, or if because I'm speaking from living in the tropical place of Australia at one point. Trust me, spending Christmas at the beach completely common. Um, and New Year's Eve. February though is where it gets really hot, but I digress. But in the winter months, which were like June, July, and August, it didn't get very cold, but it would rain in it was in near the end of the summer and into fall, so to speak. But even in the beginning of spring, before spring is like September, it would rain a lot. And my phone is picking up what I'm saying for some reason. So I don't know. So I don't know. But you could say tropical here. It would rain during this time of the year, December and such, -2 Celsius. And dry doesn't necessarily mean hot either. I'm not saying that because, as you can see, it's still cold here. It's just we don't get a lot of rain. We did have rain at the very beginning, but if you've noticed, rain is not coming. So take a look here. Here's the waiting for the trade ship. It's almost here. It's been about 2 months actually. So since we made an order, so I guess it comes quicker. So boom, we have all that stuff now, and we have a lot of coins now too, which is nice. So it's good to have houses that are insulated that people can go to, people can come to. Now you saw me reduce garbage here, that reduces the upkeep. That's always something that you want to do. And now let's take a look at research. So this, you might think, what the heck? A decorative hedge? Yeah, you're right. It's not very important. This is what you want to do right here. Because if you build a herbalist hut next to the gatherer's hut or hunting lodge, because that's nearby, um, you can do things. The hunting lodge efficiency. I had a hunting lodge that was just outside, not outside, inside the radius of a herbalist hut, and its efficiency went from 82% to 113%. So this tracking and prey thing, when it says increases hunting lodge efficiency plus 20%, yeah, it's true, and it's more than 20% at times. So the plus 20%, unless they updated it and nerfed it a little bit, which is possible, usually not the case. But we're not going to do tracking prey right away because we're not going to be like building a herbalist hut right away. We're going to be doing decorative hedge first, because when you build decorative hedge, um, they tend to kind of like it. So to speak, we're going to let's see here. I think an expansion might be in order for the hunting lodge. Because it'd be nice to have two guys hunting. And getting wood and getting it that way. But fishing, well, we have sturdy nets, right? We're going to, you know what is it? Yeah, okay, it's the same cost. We're going to expand the fishing hut. Because fishing can do ice fishing. And hunting's pretty good as it is. So we do that. Go over here, add the next guy. But 4 is the baseline you want to start with, and then we should probably engage this. Okay, so we got more clothes. So we're gonna sell some of our firewood. And some of our fish. And let's see, clothes, we're going to buy 5 clothes. We're going to buy some more leather. Or, sorry, iron. We're going to sell some lumber. We're going to buy some more stone. And some tools. We're going to buy some more tools. We're going to sell some strawberries. We're going to sell some mushrooms. We're going to sell some leather. What else can we sell? Vention. We're going to sell some vention. Sell some blackberries. Sell some corn. And you don't have to max out the trade, by the way. So I'm gonna do that for the trade for right now. So anyways, this is, let me quick save it. So this is Patron. So no herbs. Well, that can be solved. But we'll get to that next time. So anyways, guys, this is Patron. Hope you enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Wrestler signing off.